I just got back from a 3-night party cruise on Royal Caribbean's newest party ship, and this is what it was really like. Hey everyone, it's Jenna from Cruise Blog. I've sailed on 19 Royal Caribbean cruise ships, but none were quite like Utopia of the Seas. After spending a week on board Royal Caribbean's party ship, there were a few things that surprised me about the experience. Utopia of the Seas is the newest ship in Royal Caribbean's fleet, and she launched in July of 2024. The ship claims to be the biggest weekend in the cruise industry and sails only 3 and 4-night itineraries. This aims to attract new cruisers with the cruise line's best in the industry features. Notably, Utopia of the Seas is known for offering non-stop entertainment and events from the moment guests arrive on board. It wasn't hard to keep busy on the ship, whether at the college-themed frat party or enjoying a more tranquil day on the pool deck. My weekend getaway flew by more quickly than I had hoped, and even though I frequently cruise with Royal Caribbean, a few aspects of the party experience caught me by surprise. Here are the 5 things that surprised me most about cruising on Utopia of the Seas. First, Royal Caribbean's marketing for Utopia of the Seas was ingenious. They made a familiar cruise ship concept feel new. One of the most surprising aspects of my Utopia of the Seas cruise was when I realized just how meticulously Royal Caribbean marketed the ship in order to make it feel like something new for the line. Utopia of the Seas is the 6th ship in Royal Caribbean's Oasis class, so she does not necessarily have that wow factor to veteran cruisers. Those who have sailed on an Oasis class ship before will find the ship extremely familiar. Her layout and offerings are relatively equal to other ships in the class like Symphony and Wonder of the Seas. In comparison, Icon of the Seas, which launched earlier this year, was the first ship in the Icon class. The vessel offers activities, dining venues, and entertainment not found on any other ship in Royal Caribbean's fleet. And her layout is completely different from the other ships too. It's clear Royal Caribbean needed to make Utopia of the Seas stand out, and so they did something never before seen with an Oasis-class ship. Instead of offering traditional 7-night cruises, the ship would sail 3 and 4-night itineraries as soon as she launched. In addition to the shorter itineraries, Royal Caribbean marketed Utopia of the Seas as the biggest weekend at sea. The ship's marketing revolved around offering an unparalleled weekend of fun, with themed parties, endless onboard activities, and a visit to Royal Caribbean's private island in the Bahamas. After 3 nights on board, I was surprised by just how well Royal Caribbean appeared to have marketed the ship. Having been on all 6 Oasis-class ships, Utopia of the Seas honestly did not feel drastically different from the others in the class, despite a few new features here and there. Yet the strategic marketing said otherwise, and the strategy of the ship offering something totally new appears to have worked. My sailing was jam-packed with guests. Throughout my 3 nights on board, I was surprised at how much I enjoyed the party atmosphere, although it wasn't that different from other weekend cruises. It's not often I revisit my wild party days of college, but I briefly returned to my 19-year-old self on my weekend party cruise. As part of Utopia of the Seas' marketing strategy, Royal Caribbean rethought its typical evening events. While all the cruise line ships offer nightly parties from nightclubs to balloon drops, Utopia of the Seas gave these events a refresh. The silent disco on other ships, for instance, was rebranded as a silent disco toga party, where passengers dressed up and provided togas to dance the night away. Additionally, the traditional white party was rebranded as the Resolution Dance Party, offering a DJ and digital projections on the dance floor. I thought rebranding these events was a smart move, and adding togas to the otherwise traditional silent disco certainly made me more willing to attend. I also attended Royal Kappa Chi, Royal Caribbean's all-new fraternity-style party. I thought those days were long behind me, but I jumped right back into the beer pong competition like I never graduated. This event is exclusive to Utopia of the Seas. At the end of the day, though, a party is a party, and most weekend cruises from Florida will offer a similar party experience. The price tag on Utopia of the Seas is steep, and I wouldn't necessarily choose the ship just for the parties, as you can find similar events on other Royal Caribbean ships. Nonetheless, I certainly had a lot of fun on board. But despite the party atmosphere, I was surprised how easy it was to avoid it. Because Utopia of the Seas is marketed as a party ship, some cruisers are hesitant to book a sailing on the vessel. The party vibe is everywhere on Royal Caribbean's marketing materials for the ship, and even once on board, you'll see promotions for the evening parties every day. Given this, I thought it would be impossible to escape the ship's party vibe. A 3-night cruise is short already, but packing back-to-back parties into the schedule made it seem like there would be no time to relax. Fortunately, the party atmosphere did not seem as omnipresent once on board. Most of the time, my days on Utopia of the Seas felt just like any other cruise. I could enjoy leisurely strolls through the ship's open-air park, take a nostalgic ride on the carousel, and lounge in the climate-controlled solarium. Sure, there was a pool deck party one afternoon, and the Royal Promenade was occasionally overtaken by a parade or dance party, but these events aren't exclusive to Utopia of the Seas. You could easily spend an entire cruise on the vessel without going to any frat parties or dressing in a toga. If you're in the mood for a tranquil getaway, don't let the party experience steer you away from booking the ship. You can still find ways to relax and unwind on board. Next, most bars and restaurants were fantastic, but I didn't love being nickel and dimed for shaved ice. You won't run out of places to eat and drink on Utopia of the Seas. The ship has over 20 dining venues, from complimentary Mexican food at El Loco Fresh to extra-cost sushi at Azumi. More than 23 bars are on board too, including fan favorites like the Schooner Bar and the all-new Pesky Parrot Tiki Bar. Everything I ate and drank on board was excellent, whether the tender lobster at 150 Central Park or a late-night slice of pizza from Sorrento's. I found myself wishing my cruise were longer just so I could try more restaurants. For drinks, I especially loved the Pesky Parrot, where I enjoyed a few too many peanut butter pina coladas. Overall, I had few complaints about the dining and bar scene on board. Just two aspects of the dining experience fell short for me: the shaved ice bar and the spare tire. When I saw that Utopia of the Seas would offer shaved ice on the sports deck, I couldn't wait to try it myself. Cruising to the Caribbean in the peak of summer is not for the faint of heart. An icy, refreshing cup of sugary ice was just what I needed on my sweltering embarkation day. Yet I was left disappointed upon realizing the shaved ice was not included in any add-on package. It costs extra regardless of whether you have a drink package, dining package, or drink vouchers through Royal Caribbean's loyalty program. I begrudgingly paid $6 for the treat, and it was exceptionally refreshing, but I felt as if I were being nickel and dimed by the cruise line. Lastly, I was surprised by the food quality at the Spare Tire, the newest grab-and-go food option on the pool deck. Every restaurant on Royal Caribbean offers, for the most part, food that's made in-house. Yet the Spare Tire offered the same snack food I could find at a gas station, including taquitos from Tornadoes and strawberry cheesecake from Mini Chimmy's. I was unimpressed with the gas station offerings and grabbed a healthier snack at the Windjammer instead. When I boarded Utopia of the Seas, it had been over 2 years since I booked a weekend cruise. As a frequent cruiser who lives far from a cruise port, I tend to avoid 3-night cruises. These short getaways can be a nice escape from the daily grind, but I always end up wishing I had more time on board come disembarkation day. Looking at all the attractions, entertainment shows, and dining options on the ship, I couldn't imagine how I would fit everything into just 3 days. Yet by the time my cruise was over, I couldn't believe how much I experienced both on board and in the Bahamas. I watched the stunning Aqua Theater performance, Aqua 82, not just once, but twice. I laughed my way through the Quest, Royal Caribbean's adults-only game show, and screamed in terror as I slid, at 9 miles an hour, down the Ultimate Abyss slide. Not only that, but I partook in the competitive Taylor Swift trivia match, solved my way through Utopia's escape room, and treated myself to a luxurious day at Perfect Day at Coco Cay's Coco Beach Club. Something I've grown to love about Royal Caribbean is just how many activities are offered throughout the day. I kept a close eye on the cruise planner within the app to make the most of my time on board. And by the end of the 3 days, I was, to be honest, exhausted from keeping so busy. That being said, I couldn't believe just how many experiences I could have in one weekend. And perhaps that's what this party ship is all about. Well, that's all I have for today. Have you guys sailed on Utopia of the Seas, or are you planning to sail on the ship in the future? Let us know in the comments below. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on those notifications so you are notified every time we post a new video. Until next time, happy cruising!